Welcome to Set Up and Score. My name is Leigh. I'm the Head of Customer Success at ScoreApp. I've got my colleague Sarah with me. Sarah's just saying hello, and Sarah will be happy to answer any questions in the chat. So I'm also happy to answer any questions throughout the presentation, and we'll definitely have an opportunity for questions at the end as well. So in today's session, we're going to run through creating a scorecard from the very beginning. So coming up with the concept and then the technical, how to build it. And then we'll talk about launching it and then following up once we've got people through the scorecard as well. So while we're just waiting for everyone to join, would you mind just popping in the chat just a couple of words just to describe where you are in the process at the moment? So, for example, have you not started yet? You're in the build process, you've launched or you're ready to launch, that would be really helpful, and that just gives us a good idea of where everyone is. So hi Ben, you've not started yet. Hi Lynette, not started. Hi Karen, hi Handy, hi Alex, so you're running a test. Hi Gavin, currently building. Hi Eckhart, not started yet. Hi Melissa, you're in the process. Hi Alison, you've launched one, fantastic. Hi Casey, not yet started. Hi Dee, only started just seeing how it works, fantastic. Hi Paul, building template initially and then a scorecard, great. Hi Peter, built draft score app and struggling to configure the report. Okay, yeah, we'll cover the report. Hi Marion, launched, got my first 9 people and 1 follow-up. That's fantastic news. That's really great to hear. Hi Ray, not started but have some ideas, brilliant. Hi Tony, done 1 and now you're ready to share it. Fantastic, thank you everybody. So hi Lucy, nice to have you on board as well. So we're going to get started. I'm just going to share my screen. We've got a few slides, but not very many because we're going to be jumping into the platform as well. So let's just talk about some use cases for scorecards. So primarily, and a lot of what we're going to be talking about today is building a scorecard for lead generation. But you can also use scorecards for qualifying leads, so onboarding customers and also benchmarking customers as well. So I'm working with a customer at the moment who has built a scorecard which is going to assess which of the products and services the customers are using and therefore be able to present the gaps or the opportunities that's left to get the full use of the product or service. When we talk about building a scorecard, ScoreApp does 4 things. So we can create a great landing page, and we're going to cover this today. Then it's the actual question element of it. So we're going to talk about best practice for questions, the scoring logic, using categories and so forth. And then we need to display the results. So this will be giving them their outcome, their score, and all those advice and hints and tips that you've got to give to people. And then finally, it's the promotion and follow-up element of it. So I get asked all the time, what makes a successful scorecard? And I've created a few items that I feel are the most important items. And the first one is the concept for the scorecard. So this concept has to be closely aligned with the common goal that your target audience are trying to achieve. So for example, if I was a health and fitness coach and my target audience, their main goal was to lose weight, then I could create the weight loss scorecard. They go through the questions and it would just give some clarity about where they are against that goal at the moment and identify the opportunities that there are to continue to work towards that goal. It's a mutual value exchange. So when it's developed on that concept that offers value to your target audience, it gives them the clarity, it gives them the hints and the tips, but also you'll be getting that data and that insight, which enables you to personalize the way that you follow up with that lead going forward. The success of it, once you've built that scorecard, is also going to come down to the strategy that you use to drive traffic towards the scorecard and then the follow-up process afterwards. So once you've got someone through the scorecard, we need to convert those leads into sales. We're going to start by talking about concepts. So that's the idea that the scorecard is based on. And then we need to package that up into a headline that really hooks your target audience's attention. So it clearly says what it is, who it's for, what it does, and how it's going to help them. So we're going to talk about some ideas for coming up with that concept and coming up with that headline. So the first one is to base it on that desire or goal. So Daniel Priestley, he's the founder of ScoreApp and of Dent. So he runs the Key Person of Influence program at Dent, and he's developed the Key Person of Influence scorecard. So that is one of the main lead generation tools that Dent use. Obviously, the desire there is to be a key person of influence. So you can see how this works. If I went back to my fitness coach example, I could base it on the fact that my audience, the desire is to lose weight. So I could develop the weight loss scorecard. So it's using that desire, and you could just tag the name scorecard, quiz, assessment on the end. In terms of terminology, we use the word scorecard, but there's lots of terms. So quiz, assessment, checklist, these all work equally well, and it just depends what aligns best with your target audience. We could also flip that, and we could focus on the pain or the frustration. So the examples you can see on screen are avoid being hacked. Well, the desire there is to have that safe, secure network. But in order to create that hook, we've just flipped it and focused on that pain or frustration. And the headline is the avoid being hacked scorecard. So moving on, the third method I wanted to talk to you about is, are you ready? So this makes a great headline. So you fill in the blanks after are you ready? So you can see the examples are you ready to run a marathon? Are you ready to quit smoking? But if you think of, lots of different examples, so are you ready to get fit and healthy? Are you ready to change career? Are you ready for your next career move? So it works really nicely. You then might get some topical or seasonal aspects that help to form that concept. So if there's something, for example, trending or newsworthy, that could be the concept that you want to focus on. Or it could be that your product or service is a topical. So for example, January in the fitness industry, are you ready for 2024? Get fit in 2024. So it's looking for those sort of trends and opportunities as well. In addition to that, we also have the ability to create highest scoring category or personality style quizzes. So if you don't want to necessarily give someone a score as an outcome, you can also develop that on the platform. So we've, for example, got a template on the platform that you could pick up, and it's called the budgeting personality style quiz. And you would find out from that whether you're a conscious budgeter, a strict budgeter, a relaxed budgeter. And just by giving someone their personality style, you can sort of give them advice to suit that personality style. So now we've gone through some ways of coming up with those headlines. Would you mind sharing in the chat some ideas that you might have for your own? Appreciate if you've not yet started, this will just be, very top of the head, off the top of your head. And if you're sort of in the build process, you might have yours already a bit more defined. But it's really helpful to be able to have a look and see what the ideas that we have got. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up the chat. So just wait for some of those ideas to come through. If not, if you're still not sure about your idea, if you just pop in what it is that you sort of do, I might be able to help further with that. So hi, Julie, mine is currently the Wealth Beyond Money scorecard. Okay, that's a really intriguing headline. And I would recommend, are you ready to create wealth beyond money? It might create that hook into the headline. Hi, Melissa, I'm a bookkeeper. What is a good scorecard? So bookkeeper, could concepts such as, are you ready to save? Could your business save tax? take the scorecard. The bookkeeping checklist, are your books running as efficiently as they could be? Take the scorecard. I'm going to demonstrate the AI wizard shortly, and that can be a great help for helping you to come up with that concept as well. Hi, Ali. Are you ready to supercharge your business growth? Yeah, I like that one. That one's good. New market readiness score. Are you ready for your new export market? Yeah. Are you ready to grow your export market? That's a good concept. Hi, Giselle. Transform your posture, transform your life. Yes, I like that one. Are you ready to transform your posture and transform your life? That's good. Peter. Questionnaire for business owners to check their sales operations, calling it a sales health check. Yeah, I like the term sales health check, and I'm going to actually showcase an example in a little while. So it's called the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment, but then it's got a headline with it that says, are you ready to super scale? So it could be that is the name of it, and then we come up with that headline to support it. Lynette, are you ready to do your own SEO? Yeah. Are you ready to, and it's with that one, it's tapping into that desire or that goal. So what would be the benefit of them doing their own SEO? And it could be, are you ready to save money? And, so it's tapping into those desires and within that one. Hi, we are looking to create a scorecard based on cybersecurity. Yes. So cybersecurity, it's, is your network safe? The secure network assessment checklist, discover your score. So discover how safe your network is. Those kind of headlines work well. I help product leaders create engaged stakeholder relationships. Yeah, so something like that, the professional relationship success scorecard, for example. Alex, mine would be about tracking the value of software in my industry and then linking deeper scorecards on topics. Yeah, so that is, definitely worth. Sometimes there are opportunities for multiple scorecards, and by splitting them down into areas, you can make them really targeted and impactful. So that is a good idea. Mine is money saving classroom makeover. Oh, I like that one. That sounds exciting. So the money saving classroom makeover quiz. Yeah. In the subheadline, we'd need to be a little bit clear, about exactly what it is. But yeah, that's a good hook. We run a dog training business. I'm thinking something about a scorecard and getting clients' personality on how they handle their dogs. Yes. I think that's a good idea. And Sarah, I think we've seen quite a few sort of where business owners are doing similar things, and they've tend to been really successful. So yeah, that's good. Mine is currently the wealth. Oh, we've gone that one. Launch of the book. So yeah, Julie, it's fantastic. If it's supporting the launch of a book, we've used scorecards at ScoreApp where they pre-register for the book, and that's worked really well. And we're just working on a book pre-registration template, which you can just amend. It also, sometimes you can, give away a chapter of the book by taking the scorecard. And we even have people who've got the scorecard link in their book. So once they've read the book, they can come and take the quiz and you can capture their details. Maria Monitor, my brand offers unique retreats for women. Are you ready to understand perimenopause and beyond? I think that's very topical. So that's one of the topical things that we spoke about. And I think that's a really good concept. Ben, I'm a fat loss coach for men. Oh, so I've made up that I'm a weight loss coach, but you are. So you're going to be able to call me out on any inaccurate things. So it would be best to niche down in the title to aim for guys of my niche. So when you have run a scorecard and it's cold leads, you could create it real top of funnel. So if you wanted to keep it really broad, you can then use the data to identify your niche. So all of the men, 35, that have answered in a certain way, it may be those people that you choose to follow up. Or, you know, if you want to go down more targeted, you know, they're already warm, then you can sort of try and focus that niche a little bit more from the offset. So are you ready to make money tattooing? Yeah, I like that one. It's a good concept. Or are you ready for a new career as a tattoo artist? They work really well. You know, could a career as a tattoo artist suit you? Yeah, take the scorecard and discover. Brilliant. Some really interesting concepts in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. So now we've got that in mind, we are going to dive into the platform and we're going to talk about creating it. So if you haven't yet started, let me just move this toolbar down to the bottom. Okay, so this is the platform here. And when you click on Create Scorecard, you're going to be presented with 3 options. So you can start from scratch, pick a template, or use the AI setup wizard. I recommend starting from scratch when you're clear on the concept for your scorecard. You've got your questions mapped out. And it just basically gives you this blank opportunity to enter your own information. There's landing page templates and results page templates that's going to support you. And I often quite like starting from scratch if I am clear on what I'm creating. You can then pick a template. So this is pre-made templates that we already have in place. If you have a look there might be one that's closely aligned with what your concept, or you really like the design of one. You can pick those templates up and then you can just amend the elements that you need to and brand it to suit you. The third option is to use the AI setup wizard. So this is a great option if you want a little bit more help with that concept, getting the right concept, and you want a little bit of help writing the questions and writing that results page output. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. But the way that we amend once we've been through the AI setup wizard is relevant to either of the methods, whichever one you've chosen. So it wants me to, I'm going to start over. So when you have clicked on use the AI setup wizard, you're going to be presented with the options. This is what we discussed at the beginning. So you can just specify whether you want to generate new leads, whether you want to qualify and convert existing leads to sales, or whether you're improving existing client results. So I'm going to click on generate new leads. You then get a further option, and this determines whether you want to just deliver an overall score at the end, whether you want to deliver that outcome or that personality style, or if you choose multiple scores, then you will also be able to deliver scores against categories, so an overall score and categories. And that's particularly useful if, you know, if I was a fitness coach, some obvious categories would be, you know, diet, sleep, nutrition. No, they're diet, sleep, exercise. So just by using those categories, people can start to identify where their strengths are and you know, where their biggest opportunities might lie. So I'm going to choose that multiple scores option. I'm going to stick with my fitness coach example. And then it asks me to describe my target audience. So I'm going to select weight loss. And then it wants to know what I help my clients improve, achieve, or prevent. You can type in your own, you can click on get more suggestions. So I'm just going to go with weight loss and click on next. And once you've done that, it's going to suggest some concepts for you. So unlock your weight loss potential, discover the secrets to shedding pounds, transform your body with our weight loss quiz. So I quite like that version. Again, you can click on get more suggestions, and all of this can be edited further down the line. So I would just recommend that you pick your favorite option. Click on next. It will then suggest the categories. So I'm going to click on diet and I'm going to click on exercise. And I'll talk about number of categories a bit further along. Once we've chosen the categories, it will then suggest questions for each category as well. So just for speed, I'm just going to add the top 2. You can obviously take your time to review them, but just remember that you can edit, add, delete once you've built the scorecard. So normally this process will take you around 10 minutes to go through. So I'm just picking 2 questions for the exercise category, and then it gives me a summary of everything that I've chosen. I can click on create my scorecard. And that's how easy it is. So we go to our dashboard now, and this is where we need to start. This gives us a base, and we need to now start to bring this scorecard to life. So a lot of what we're going to focus on is the build icon. It's the pencil and the ruler. And once we select that, we're going to work through these elements. So the first page that you will drive traffic to is your landing page. So we're going to open up the landing page editor. Because we've used the AI setup wizard, it will always put this blue background in. It will always choose the most suitable image, and it will input that headline that you selected during that wizard process. So there's lots that we can do to the landing page, and the landing page is super important because once you've driven traffic towards it, it really needs to speak to your target audience. So they're like, this sounds fantastic. This sounds exactly what I need. And they go on and take action. So therefore, it's all about the value in how this quiz is going to help them. And I'm going to showcase an area on our website where we have some existing successful scorecards, just to give you a feel for the kind of landing pages that we can build. So if we go to scoreapp.com and we go to product and made with ScoreApp, there is a library of examples here. So the one that I use to talk through is this one at the bottom. So it's called the Scale Up and Exit Business Assessment. The headline, are you looking to grow, exit, or sell your business? So it's got that hook. It says exactly what it is, who it's for. But then it's tapping into those desires that I spoke about at the beginning, because the subheading is find out if your business is ready to scale rapidly and achieve a successful exit. It's also telling me how long it's going to take, and that I will receive my PDF afterwards. So if you can work on that headline, work on that subheading, tap into those desires, tell people how long it's going to take, whether that's a time or a number of questions. What I like about this example as well, it's then got this trusted by 10,000 brands worldwide. So it's starting to introduce some credibility. Whereas if somebody goes, oh, this sounds really good, I wonder who's developed it. Well, now we're adding that credibility piece. So you could have sections such as, about us, why we've created this tool. Here's who we've worked with in the past. It also has a showcase of the PDF that they will receive at the end. So it's adding to that value. I'm going to answer these questions and I'm going to get this lovely report at the end and this opportunity to book a strategy session. This content explains how it works. So it's just reaffirming you've got 23 questions, what the purpose of it is. But what I like about it as well is it's tapping more into those desires. So scale rapidly, increase cash flow, profit valuation, and successfully exit. It then goes on to explain about the categories and about the CFO Centre. So this is a long version landing page, but you can see how it clearly communicates the value in taking the scorecard. Now I just want to go through how we'd go about creating that on the platform. So within the landing page editor, if you click on add a section, you can see there are a number of different section types that you could start to add. So in terms of main banners, if you don't want to use the one that the AI has generated, we could add a new main banner. And then we might go and add a section. And if we look under all the different sections, like content, for example, there's a section here with an image placement that we could use to describe how it works. If we then want to go and add a section where we're talking about the categories, or we can find that under the category section, we can add that section. So you can start to see how you can structure it. Once you've added a section, if you hover over it, you will see some dots. And if you click on those dots, you can drag and drop them into different positions. So once you've got your structure in place, we're going to want to brand it, style it, input your own content. So if you click on that particular section, you will then see the editing options open up. So we can change the title. We can start to change this background image. So we can search free images. I always like to search beaches and then press select. And you can work through all the colors. So I would just recommend just taking your time and going through all of those available options there. You know, for example, you can put a little shadow on that image if you wanted the text to pop out a bit more. You could make it fully wide if you wanted to. The other thing to note is that if you've used the AI, it does hide the header section. So you can just, if you want to hide a section and then release a section, you just click on that eye icon, and then you can upload your logo as well. So would anybody be happy to share their landing page with us if you have already started? If you wouldn't mind just popping the link in the chat, then we can bring it up. Or if you just wanted to take your mic off, I can search for your name on the platform and we can talk through any suggestions that I can give you. Just wait a few minutes, see if anyone wants to volunteer. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Ali. Right. Let's click on that one. So welcome to Kinridge Bid Solutions, maximizing success, minimizing stress. Are you ready to supercharge your business growth with winning bid strategies? Answer just a few multiple choice questions to generate your personalized report. Discover how to improve your bidding strategies and achieve business growth with our quiz. Get valuable feedback on business growth, bidding readiness, time and resources, and general questions. Take the quiz now. Okay, so I can see you've used the AI setup wizard. I think some of that content's really strong. I like the concept, but I think that now that I've sort of showcased that area on Made with ScoreApp, there may be some different section types you can start to add to build up this template now. I actually really like this bit here. And achieve business growth. Where was it? Are you ready? Discover how to improve. So that in itself, discover how to improve your bidding strategies could be the headline. Are you ready to improve your bidding strategies? Take the scorecard. I just wonder at the moment if are you ready to supercharge your business growth with winning bid strategies is maybe too long as a headline. It might be best to sort of shorten that just and then split it, the second element out of it into the subheading. I don't think we've got it's free, it's quick. We haven't got did you mention how many questions? Just a few quick multiple choice questions. You could just specify, you know, in less than 2 minutes, discover your score. I think it's having a section that maybe shows them the value that they're going to get at the end. So not just, you know, get your report, what goes into that report. So you're going to get your score, find out where you are, then get some advice tailored to your score. So really add to that value proposition. Also, it would be good if we could have a little bit information about you know, why you've created this quiz. And I always link it to, so at the About Me sections, always recommended linking it to you, but why it's led you to develop this quiz. So, for example, you know, I've been the head of customer success at ScoreApp for 4 years, and I've built this quiz to share the proven methodology for creating a successful scorecard. I think the other element that you could really add to it is a little bit of a story about why winning bid strategies is important. I think that really helps. So obviously I don't know much about that, but you know, if it was about creating a scorecard, you know, I could create a piece of content that kind of really resonates that, you know, this is a great lead generation tool. And if you get it right, then it can increase your leads, which is in effect can increase your business. So more about the whole background and the story about why it's important would be helpful. But I think I think this is a really good sort of first version. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Anybody, I'm going to just do one more before we move on to the questions. So I just want to go back, make sure I do them in order. Okay, so Tony, thank you. Let's have a look. So save your legs, need new classroom tables. So simply replace the tabletops. Want to know more? Take a look at this case study from a school earlier this year. Take the money-saving classroom makeover quiz today. Okay, so I think that what we want to see first is a headline that creates intrigue, that you know that you're going to discover something. So for me, these sections need to be switched around. I need the take the money saving classroom makeover quiz to be up here. So that headline hooks my attentions. This bit here, this could become more about the About Us section in the bottom. And you could just have your logo up here. Image wise, I think there's an opportunity to visually, brand it, use some exciting imagery to bring that to life a little bit more. Let's just see, discover how our replacement classroom tabletop can help you save money, protect the environment, and teach kids about recycling. Yeah, so, that's a really nice introduction. So that could go in the About Us section. And you could simply have a how it works section. And you could use the category. So you have step 1, answer the questions. Step 2, discover your score. Step 3, receive recommendations on how you can save money and the environment and so forth. So I think for this one, it's just going to be the visual, making sure that this message is higher up, and then it's going to be just making that page really sort of attractive and honing in on those elements that are save money, protect the environment, and teach kids about recycling. So yeah, that looks like a really nice, fun quiz to do. So just a few design aspects, I think. So thank you very much for sharing that one. Okay, we are now going to go back to the platform. So once somebody's seen your landing page, they're obviously going to click on take the scorecard, fill in their details if you've got the lead form before the questions, and then start to progress through those questions. So we're going to head to the question area of the platform. If you've used the AI setup wizard, it will suggest yes/no questions. Now, there are other question formats available. So if we click on add question, you've got yes, no, maybe, multiple choice, scales, and open text. So it's quite nice to have a variety of different formats. Yes/no questions are definitely the easiest for people to flow through. We need to keep them factual, so you're not asking anyone to go off and check anything, because that might prevent them from completing the quiz. And it sometimes can be quite nice to flip the yes and no, so it's not always yes is the positive answer and they're just clicking yes, yes, yes. Helps keep them on their toes as well. So we recommend fewer questions for cold leads, because obviously they won't have had any experience with you at this point. So keeping it sort of short, impactful at that stage. That does need to be balanced with giving somebody a credible score. So I don't want you to get sort of stuck on that number of questions. If you feel like you need to ask some more questions to portray that credibility in the scores, then absolutely. If it's warmer leads, we'd suggest under 25 questions. And if it's existing customers, then really the sky is the limit in terms of the data that you need to collect. Now, if I was going to add my own questions for a yes, no, maybe question, you can write your question directly on the screen. And I'm going to say I can't remember what categories we picked, I think diet and exercise. So I'm just going to say, do you eat 5 portions of fruit and vegetables a day? So the positive answer there is obviously, yes, I do. So they're going to score a point, and it can be as simple as that. So over on this side, I'm going to go, okay, so I've added this question and I want the points to go towards the diet habits. And if they pick yes, they're going to score a point. And if they pick no, it's also going to go to diet habits and they're not going to score anything. So that's quite straightforward. If I was going to add a multiple choice question, let's just think about this. Let's say, what exercise do you do? And I could add some different answer options, such as, HIIT workouts or walking. So I'm just going to keep it to 2. So on this particular one now, my HIIT answer, I want to make sure that those points go to the exercise category. And if they pick HIIT, well, I'm going to give them 2 points. Whereas if they hit walking, I just want to give them 1 point. So it can go up in strength of the answer. If you're adding a scaled question, they work slightly differently. So you can make that scale however big you'd like it to be. So I'm going to make this a 1 to 5 scale. Rate your happiness with your fitness. So they can go 1 to 5, 1 being not very much, 5 being a lot. And that means that there's 5 points available. Wherever they place themselves on that scale is how many points they've achieved. And then the last question format is open text. That's just a great question for gathering more data. It's not scored, but it can be useful if you need to know that extra information. Across the top here, you can see the categories, so you can add more categories. You can see the questions. It doesn't like that question because I haven't finished it. And then if you choose the view with the 3 dots and the 3 lines, you can see which questions are currently sitting under which categories as well. Okay, I'm just doing a bit of a maths warning now, because I just want to explain how the scoring works. So it will add up the total amount of points possible per category. So if in diet I had 10 points available, it will work out what the person taking my quiz scored out of 10. So if that person scored 5 out of 10, it's going to convert it into a percentage. So they've scored 50%. And it will determine what score tier they fall into based on if you visit settings and score tiers here. So 50% would mean that they would fall in that medium tier, and then we can tailor the feedback that we give them. So these score tiers, these are the default settings, and they tend to work because it's 100% split into 3. But you can change them. You can change the labels. You could change the colors. So those options are possible. But this leads in nicely then to delivering the results. So we've talked about adding questions, how to score questions, how the scoring is calculated. And now we need to talk about delivering their results. So what we're going to do is go to the results page. This is the first page that they see after finishing the questions. Now, this is what the AI wizard generated for us. So it's got our overall score and it's got our category scores as well. So AI will put some overall score content in there. What's a nice thing to do if you click on it is that you could make it dynamic if you wanted to. You'll always see this dynamic content toggle. So if I switch that on, it opens up my score tiers. So I can enter different versions of content based on which score tier they fall into. All those versions sit there in the platform, and it will just show them the one that they've scored within. And the nice thing about that is that you can acknowledge their score. So if someone hasn't scored very well, you can say, okay, your score might not be where you'd like it to be right now, but don't worry, we've got all of these hints and tips to share with you to help improve your score. What the AI setup wizard does for the categories, if you selected that method, it's already done some dynamic content for you. So it's got your low, medium, and high. They're slightly different. But what is nice to do now is to put your stamp on it. And best practice is to acknowledge their score, describe the category, and then maybe give them a few hints and tips, a few light bulb moments that they can take away with them, that they think, oh, that was fantastic advice. I'd really like some more. it's a bit like the landing page in terms of how you can build this page. So when we click on add a section there and we look at the results section, there are different ways you can present that overall score. So if the AI has given you a donut chart and actually you'd rather use a spider diagram, you can come in and you can add that section. There's different ways to present those categories. So we've got 3 different design options there. And then we've got, you're going to want to feature your call to actions on this page as well. So actually, if I just show you what the AI wizard, it adds this section that says want to talk about your results. But now this is the time to, you know, up to this point, it's all about being the value in helping your target customer. Now this page is really starting to showcase, you know, how you can help them. And we want to bring this call to action to life. So have a look at the add a section, go to the call to actions. You know, this one's got a lovely image on it. So we can really jazz that section up as much as possible. It may be that on this page, you want to start introducing some testimonials. You can really, you know, make this page as big or as small as you'd like it to be. Lots of our customers will use a calendar as their call to action, so book a discovery call. So whichever call to action section you have used, the button link, so your Calendly link or whichever version you use would go in that button link box. We have other customers that the call to action might be to join a community, it might be to access a resource, it might be to register for a webinar. So there's lots of different call to actions that you can feature on this page. This is the results page. If you're on our starter and our business package, this is the output that your target audience will receive. Once they've seen it at the end of the questions, the ScoreApp platform will also fire off an email with a link back to that page. They get to keep it and they get to refer to it. If you are on the Pro package and you're developing the PDF report, you might make that page a bit more of a snapshot because you want people to then get their PDF emailed and you want to go into detail on that PDF report. So when it comes to creating that PDF report, the AI Setup Wizard doesn't currently create a basic version for you. So we will need to go in there and start to build it. I always recommend starting without a template because all of the different pages are available then. And again, we're going to go to add a page. And then we've got all of these options here. So we've got 3 different front covers. So I would choose my favorite front cover. And then I would go to add a page. And I would want an intro page. So if I go to general content, there's different pages I could use as an intro and outro page. So I'm going to add my intro page. Then I'm going to want to show people what they scored overall. So I'm going to pick my favorite overall score page, followed by a summary of their category scores. And then I'm going to start to drill down into each of my individual categories. So this is going to be my diet page. And then I'm going to add a page that describes the category, but a page then that gives them hints and tips. And then you do need to add a page for each one of your categories. So I'm going to go and add another one, but make sure this one's now linked to exercise. The great thing is that you can make any of these pages dynamic. So if you've seen my diet page here, I might keep this one static. So it just explains how important diet is. But on my tips to improve, I am going to make this dynamic because, you know, if somebody's scored in the low tier, obviously my advice is going to be very different to someone who's scored in the high tier. So you can personalize it and say, you know, here's your tips for your high score and give them that real next level advice. Again, it's just 3 different versions plugged into the platform and it will just pull in the right one based on how they scored. So that's a little bit about the PDF. What you will need to do if you're using it is publish it and make it default. And then you can go to your settings, your result email, you would just need to change the merge field. So they're not viewing that results page anymore. This is the merge field icon. It's got the little plus sign in it, and we can pick up the report button then. So that now links to the report. AI has drafted our result email content. I would recommend that you always check through that. Sometimes it does add merge fields which aren't there, so it's definitely worth just reviewing that and personalizing that result email as well. So those are the main elements of creating a scorecard. So just to summarize, you go to the builder, you've got the landing page, you've got the questions, you've got the results page, you've got the PDF report, and then there's some elements in settings that I've shown you, such as the score tiers and the result email so far. So now we're going to just talk about promoting the scorecard. So I'm just going to bring my slides back up. We've got an excellent document, which Sarah is going to kindly share for me in the chat. And that's called 29 different ways to promote your scorecards. That's a really high level run through of all the options. But sorry, I'm going to give you top level in this presentation. So I'm going to be sort of changing from here to back to the platform to show you where to find and utilize some of these elements. So once you've created your scorecard, we would recommend embedding it on your website. So I'm going to show you the options for embedding it on your website. So coming back to the platform, we're not looking at the build icon anymore. We're going to choose this share icon. So if I click there, it gives me my options to embed it on my website. You can click on the one that you'd like to use, and then it will give you the code to embed it on your website. A lot of the time, our customers will put in a banner on their homepage, and it will be the URL for the scorecard that sits behind the button that says take this quiz. So they're your options. Let's go back to the slide. So you could have the scorecard link in your email signature. I've got an example here. So you can just see this is Mike, who's the co-founder of Dent, and he's just got a PS, have you taken the key person of influence scorecard? And this basically applies to anything that leaves your office. I know business cards aren't very popular anymore, but you could have the link on your business card, on flyers, for example, to encourage people to take their scorecard. We have then got running an email marketing campaign. So if you've got a list that you can leverage, an old list, or you've been compiling a list, then running an email campaign, we would recommend that as a successful way to drive traffic to the scorecard. You can also direct message it. So on LinkedIn, for example, I know that's a really popular way of promoting the scorecard. Social media. So you can post about your scorecard regularly. You could also use it as the call to action on other posts. So you might be posting about something separate, but you could have a PS, don't forget to take the scorecard. And there's a couple of things I want to show you on the platform in terms of social media. So if we go back to the builder, it's an item under settings and it's called share appearance. So if you fill in this page, you give it a title, you give it a description, and you upload an image, this will control the way it looks once it's shared on social media platforms. So you could enter your scorecard URL into LinkedIn or Facebook, and it will be displayed in line with what you've got here. So I would recommend you do that. One of the AI marketing assistant tools that we have on the platform, you will find back under the share icon, and this will suggest daily posts for you to help you share it on these various social media platforms. So these change daily and just help save some time for yourself and promote your scorecard. If you do any podcasts, we've got lots of our customers will create scorecards for podcasts. And sometimes, it's even pausing the podcast, asking people to complete the scorecard and then come back once they've got their score or their outcome. You can use them as the call to action after the podcast. Videos, the same, great call to action for any videos, any blogs. Books, we spoke a little about at the beginning. They're great for books. Pre-register for the book, having the link for the scorecard in your book. it can be even, if you have a book, it can be a bonus for completing the scorecard as well, and helps to add that credibility to the scorecard. If you're running events and workshops, you can use a scorecard as an event registration, or just gathering feedback throughout a webinar as well. Registering for this setup and score session, it was a scorecard. So you were asked a few questions, and then we had it linked to our CRM that enabled to send out Zoom links, so they can be quite useful there. The last sort of organic method is this joint venture partnership. So quite often there could be a collaboration where you could leverage assets such as lists in order to promote your scorecard. The final option there is paid for advertising. So running ads on your preferred social media, or aligned with your target audience. So it could be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, for example, as a way to drive traffic towards that scorecard. So that is the promotion side of things. I then want to show you a few items on the platform in terms of follow-up. So we have this integrate option. If we click here, these are our available CRM connections. If yours isn't listed here, there's a high chance that it's going to be possible via Zapier. It often acts as the bridge between the two. But once you've selected your CRM, it's going to ask you to enter your API to connect the platforms, and then it's going to open up options, and you're going to be able to map across the lead details and any of the answers, scores, category scores as well. And that's going to allow you to then have some tailored follow-up sequences in your CRM. So for example, you might, people that scored low in diet might go into a particular campaign, whereas somebody who scored high in exercise might go into a different campaign. There is some more features that I wanted to show you as well. So in terms of following up with leads, the leads, as well as being connected to your CRM, will obviously drop into your lead area as well. You can click on the lead, and I'm just actually going to very quickly bring up a test version so I can show you this in real life. I should have had this open, so apologies. Let's go for this one here. Okay. So now this is just a test one, so the leads aren't real. But if I come to the lead area and I click here, and then I click on this test, you can see this AI button up here. So this test has completed the scorecard. I can see their scores. I can see their answers. I could click on this AI button here if I wanted to, and it will prepare an email linked to the way that they answered the questions. Again, just saving you time that you could just copy and paste and send to that particular lead. It may be that you want the sales call script. So some of the success, or I wanted to actually mention, so the Daniel Priester, who's the co-founder of ScoreApp and Dent, the process they follow once somebody's completed the scorecard is that they will get a phone call from an appointment setter within 48 hours of taking the scorecard. And they use the seesaw technique. So they'll talk about something that they've scored really well in, so that's the highest, and then they'll talk about something that presents their biggest opportunity, which is their lowest. And it makes that sales conversation much warmer, because you're starting that conversation with, have you got a few moments to talk about the recent scorecard that you took? So that is the process there. And is there anything else I want to show you before we finish? Yes. So on our higher packages, we have this insights section. And here, I really like this. This shows you a summary of the category scores and the overall scores, but it's this answers one. So this gives you aggregate data. So across everyone that's taken the scorecard, and you can use this for social media posts by themselves. So you could say, did you know that out of 100 people who have completed the scorecard, 50% are currently struggling with X. So they're great for insights for you as a company, but could be potential content for you as well. And if you click on the AI button here, it will actually prepare that press article or the blog post or the tweet or the LinkedIn post to enable you to use that data as well. Okay, one more thing I want to show you on the platform, and then I'll open up 2 questions. So when you have launched your scorecard, if I go back to insights and this overview, if you're using a ScoreApp landing page, this will tell you how many visitors have arrived at your landing page. It will also show you how many have started, which will give you a conversion rate. So we would like that conversion rate tracking above 20%. So between around 20 to 50% is obviously a good conversion. If it's below 20%, then it could be that the concept's not right. It could be that the landing page needs optimizing. It could be that you're targeting, you just need to make sure the right people are arriving at your landing page. So use these insights to help you sort of optimize your scorecard in those early days. Okay, lovely. I'm going to stop talking now. Any other questions that I can help with before we finish up for today? Please feel free to just take your mic off and just ask away.
Can you just demonstrate for me how to upload a video into a scorecard in the results section, because I have a real issue with that.
Yeah, of course. So let's go to the results page. And what we need to do is we need to add a section and we need to add a video section. So you've got different designs that you could use. I'm just going to pick this bottom one here. And then it's going to be the video, this field that you need to enter the embed code for the video. So if it's Vimeo or YouTube, you'll be able to get the embed code from that platform, copy and paste it into this video box here, and then click on save.
Brilliant, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Sarah, I thought you had a question there. You were going to put your hand up.
Just a quick question regarding the dynamic content, just to understand the difference when it's on and off, what the content will do. And
Yeah.
then just another question regarding when you get your scorecard app link, is there a way to edit that link so that my name doesn't appear in that link?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Dynamic content. So we're on the results page. This has got dynamic content enabled. So I can type in now, I've got my score tiers here. I can type in, you've scored low, don't worry, you've scored medium. If I toggle that off, it's just one version. So it will just deliver the same. Whatever you enter into there, it could just be a description of that category. Sorry, if would you mind just muting your microphone? Thank you. Brilliant. So hopefully that helps on the dynamic content side of it. Your other question was, I've forgotten.
If you can customize the URL link that you send out.
That's it. Thank you. Right. So the customizing the URL element will come under settings. It's here. So on the free tier, you're unable to customize this bit, but once you've launched onto a starter package, you can change this bit here. And on our higher packages, you've also got the option of using a custom domain name as well. So if you're using a custom domain, you can come to your account, domains, and you can connect it up there. And if anyone needs any help with that, let me know, or just email support@scoreapp.com. Any other questions I can help with?
Yeah, here.
Hi.
Hi. How do I embed my scorecard into a MailChimp email?
It's going to be just using the URL. So into a MailChimp email, you will just whatever your URL is here, you'll just copy and paste it and put it into your MailChimp email.
Okay, so that'll just show us a link then. It won't show us the scorecard won't appear on the email.
I'm sure you could do different things, like you could screenshot it and have an image of it and put the link behind the image.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's the link that drives traffic to the scorecard.
Right, okay.
Yeah, excellent. Hi, Andy, how can I help?
Yeah, could you please show how it looks on the mobile site?
Yeah. So if you want to look how it looks on the mobile site, when you're building a landing page and you're in the landing page editor, along the top here, you've got two views. One is mobile and one is desktop. So it's just making sure that you switch between the two and you're happy with how it looks on both. It's the same in the results page as well for that.
Okay, so this means if we are not happy with the mobile, we can still make the editing, right?
It has to suit both. It has to suit both. So yeah, I always work on the desktop version, check that I'm happy, but the tweaks that you make will apply to both.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So guys, I'm aware we're at time now, so thank you so much for joining us. We've got a fantastic support desk. If you've got any questions, want any feedback, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We do offer one-to-one calls. We do have a live chat feature in the help center on the platform as well. So you can get in touch with us that way. We have a Facebook community. So if you'd like to join that, Sarah will pop a link in the chat for that. And we also, I just wanted to finish by saying we have a referral scheme. So if anyone is interested in being part of that, in your account, you will notice a referral area. There is a unique link in there, and we offer fantastic commission if that's ever of interest to you as well. But thank you so much for joining us. I hope this has been useful, and we look forward to seeing what you create, and we wish you every success. Thank you, guys.